What's up, friendos, and welcome in to Leading Off, the show that does not feature Joe Pisapia because he is gone.
He's on vacation.
He's on vacation. Probably riding the teacups as we speak. Maybe in line for It's a Small. Do they have It's a Small World at Disney World? I've never been, so I don't know.
Yeah, but I think Joe and I, unfortunately, are too tall for that ride. You have to be.
It's an average height world after all. That would actually be a great ride for me to go with you guys, because I'd be like, oh, guys, it's kind of normal.
You're not allowed. No, you'd have to be in the monsters. They have a line for monsters only. That's where you go. So.
Joe Pisapia is not here this week. Hopefully you are. Hopefully you don't ditch out just because Joe isn't here, because every single show we have the opportunity to make fun of Joe. And I have got something for you here in just a little bit that you're not going to want to miss, because we're going to play a game with a potential prize, a prize that I have not actually even got approved by anybody, so much so that I might have to come up with my own prize because I've asked nobody. We will be doing that. We'll be talking about all the latest and all the greatest props and everything with my dear friend Scott Bogman, who is co-hosting with me today, the Bogman, who you can find on Twitter at Bogman Sports, my cohort over at In This League. It's an In This League takeover on Leading Off today, and I'm very excited to get into it. And how about we start right off the top, Boggs, with an all-out brawl this weekend in Major League Baseball, as Jesse Winker was hit and proceeded to go absolutely bonkers on the Angels. We had everything you could possibly want in a brawl. You had ejections, 8 of them, 8 of them.
Yep.
Full on brawl with fingers in eyes. I don't know if you saw Anthony Rendon.
Oh yeah.
Cast in one hand, Jesse Winker's eyeballs in another was incredible.
Well, he's a known lefty, right? Isn't that the joke that everyone's been making? Known lefty. Look at him go there. So
I think didn't he actually hit the remember that one game earlier this year where he went lefty and his
that's
first
the whole
at
joke.
bat,
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah.
Joke is over.
Morning. Good morning, Welsh. Yeah,
I'm
you've not had your coffee yet.
I'm dissecting the joke. I'm like, wait a minute. Didn't he hit one lefty and they called him the switch hitter? That's so cool. Yeah, that's what it was. That's 100% what it was. And then probably the best part, Mike Mayer's best part, was children are crying in the stands because Jesse Winker, as he walked off, he flipped a couple birdies out to the stands. Yeah.
How dare he?
These weren't the fingers that he used, but he did use some fingers.
He was doing the Napoleon Dynamite though.
No, no, he did not do that. There was so much with it. Actually, speaking of the crying, actually, there was this really interesting story. Abigail Courtney, I believe her name was. She was a fan that was crying earlier in the year when I believe it was Joey Votto got ejected. It's one of her favorite players.
Oh yeah, and he gave her the autograph.
And she got an autograph ball. She was there at this game to see former Red Jesse Winker, who got ejected. And then she cried because that's sad. Mike Mayer, sapping up the tears, so happy for probably not that one, but a ball went in the opposite direction of what he wants. It went back to her. She got another autograph ball. Thank God. Love those nice stories. This was probably one of the more unique ones. And I actually saw this happen live on Twitter where a fan in Arkansas then proceeded. This is one of the weirdest, wildest brawls in the entire history of brawls. A fan in Arkansas had a pizza, I believe like via DoorDash or something, delivered to Jesse Winker. A pepperoni pizza, by the way. And then more than 400 people tipped the pizza delivery driver. It's the greatest story in MLB history.
It makes me jealous because I used to be a pizza delivery guy, and seeing 400 people tip the driver, like I just wish that I had delivered in the, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal era of stuff, because I delivered to a lot of famous people. I did, once upon a time. I remember
you've told me a couple. Adam Jones was the best tipper, former Baltimore Oriole Mariner. You said he was the best tipper of all of them. There was a story that, God, what was it? It was Adam Eaton, not the pitcher, but the Diamondbacks pitcher. It was like 4 Diamondbacks that were hauled up in like a place that they were staying at.
Adam Eaton, Ryan Wheeler, and somebody else. Yeah,
that's what it was. Ryan Wheeler, and Adam Eaton came to the door, and I think was like, "Hey, you want to see a big leaguer?"
That was
you had your
Ryan
Diamondbacks
Wheeler.
hat on. Oh, I thought it was the opposite.
I thought the reverse. No, Adam Eaton was quiet. Ryan Wheeler was the loudmouth. So.
Do you want to tell the world who the worst tipper was?
Well, I mean, there's plenty of them, but Quentin McCracken, pretty garbage.
Yeah, so. Quentin. Yeah, I was about to say that. Allegedly, we're gonna put allegedly out there, but allegedly,
don't have to say allegedly.
Not to Bogman, the worst.
I delivered it to him. It was terrible. It was $2.
Do we have confirmation? I don't want to spend too much time on this, but did the pizza actually get there?
Oh, I'm sure it did. Yeah. I mean, you would think you think this guy got tipped 400 times for not even delivering the pizza.
Yeah,
to the right place?
I absolutely do, because they put the information out there. I'm having a hard time believing, could the guy have gotten into the stadium and gotten to the clubhouse? It's one of those things where it's like you're out in the woods and you order a pizza. Like I've had my family ask, like, hey, we could get a pizza. They're not going to come into who's going to come into the woods? How are they going to get into the clubhouse to deliver that pizza? I would love to know if he ate it. I would like to know if he's commented that he got the pizza and the team, him and Julio, since they were both ejected from the game. I would love to know, but I don't.
I mean, I would love to know too. So we're inquiring minds are wondering, Winker, did you eat that pizza? That's what we want.
I mean, it's the only important thing I want to know. The whole thing was just wild, and both managers were ejected, a bunch of players. Julio was in there, and then Raisel Iglesias threw bubblegum after in his home stadium, by the way.
Here we go. Mayor says Winker DM'd the girl and confirmed he received the pizza. So
Excellent.
Look at that.
Excellent. And hat tip to that delivery driver. Hey, Bogman, we could still
probably made his rent.
We could play pretend delivery driver today. Hey, I'm a delivery driver for Tortilla at the Welsh.
All you got to do is flip everybody off, then I'll send you a pizza. Welsh, it's fine.
Yeah, well, no, birdies. These are my birdies at the Welsh on Venmo, and Bogman at I don't even know what your Venmo is at. At the Welsh also. It's also at the Welsh.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure. Yeah, right.
All right, some headlines from the weekend. Bryce Harper broke his thumb being hit by a pitch. He's going to be out. Well, is this true? He said he could opt for Tommy John surgery if they fall out.
Well, he's already got the screwed up elbow, remember? So
yeah.
Because that's why he's DHing and not throwing at all. So, if the Phillies fall out of it and he's missing, if he needs 8 weeks or whatever with the stupid thumb injury, then there might be a reason for him to shut it all down and just get this surgery over with.
Yeah, the injury itself is brutal. The body count of guys that we've lost and we don't have playing right now is becoming exponential. I mean, from Fernando Tatis Jr. to all the pitchers, good player after good player. I had Bryce Harper on one. I had one monster. I had this monster outfield team in one of our ITL Dynasty leagues from a long time, and then my outfield just going down and down and down. I got offered Jock Peterson immediately after that injury, and I was like, no, I'm not going to fall for that. I'm not going to give you 3 draft picks for Jock Peterson because I lost Bryce Harper. But the injury is bad, and also, whether anything in that wrist above, even though it can be kind of simplistic,
can sap power.
It can absolutely sap power. I'm really worried about it for the rest of the season on Bryce Harper, regardless if he pushes through it. It really, really does worry me. So that's going to be a brutal blow. And you're going to have to adjust. I believe the Phillies are bringing up Mickey Moniak, who's been playing well in the minors. Not going to replace it whatsoever. Also, it inadvertently it hurts. Castellanos hasn't picked anything up. Schwarber,
it hurts the lineup for sure. Yeah.
I'm a little disappointed about it. Other headlines: Christian Javier and some relievers combined to hit the Yankees.
Your favorite thing, Welsh. You love anyone. You guys should know anytime that anyone gets close to a combined no hitter, you got to start tweeting the Welsh because it's his favorite thing. Combined no hitters. He doesn't like the cycle. You can just ignore him for that. But combined no hitters really his thing. So you guys should Is it the Welsh on Twitter?
It's 100% not. I love cycle. I actually love cycles. I love no hitters. Things I hate are managers taking pitchers out when they've got the potential for a no hitter, and then us celebrating combined no hitters. That's what I don't love. I mean, it's fine.
Garcia
hey, it's cool.
Great. Yeah,
it's fine. It's cool. It's whatever. And then following it, by the way, the Yankees run a historic just not getting hits, but Aaron Judge then fixed it the next day with his 28th homer, a walk-off in extra innings for them to win. Max Scherzer is going to make another rehab start on Tuesday, coming closer and closer. I thought last week there was conversation of him maybe starting this week, like Sunday, but that must be pushing into this week. So rehab start on Tuesday, which would probably align him for next Sunday, which is really, really good news. Also, we've heard that Jacob deGrom has been inching closer. His bullpen sessions have been getting a little bit more strong. So they're going to be full slate, but also just having Jacob deGrom for me in fantasy is going to be huge. It's going to be huge, huge, huge. So Scherzer, Chris Sale out. Strikes out 6 in a rehab outing, and he's coming close.
Let's waste those bullets in the minors on a rehab stint. Don't let him relieve or something in the bigs. I don't understand.
Let me ask you, Joe and I have talked about this. Do you think when Chris Sale comes back, it is full go, or do you think there's going to be a babying effect where maybe they put him in kind of that opener, maybe they piggyback him?
I think it's going to be full go. We've seen them do the babying stuff with him, but that was when they wanted him back for the playoffs. So they kind of rushed him back a little bit, and then they babied him all the way through. I don't think we're seeing that this year. I think he comes back and he's just going. So we'll see.
Mookie Betts not cleared for baseball activity. On the chalkboard of how many days have we had without an injury, that is one of those guys that has cleared that board down to nothing. We're down to nothing after the Bryce Harper injury. Brandon Woodruff is set to return to the rotation on Tuesday for the Brewers, so happy days. And Ronald Acuna fouls a ball off the foot, could need an IL stint. We're literally talking Mookie Betts, Tatis, Bryce Harper, and Ronald Acuna all not playing baseball right now. Could not be worse for the sport.
Really good for the game, right? Especially when people are slowing down and not watching as much.
I mean, there's nothing baseball can do unless they want to cheat and be big fat cheaters. But to your point, it is the worst time because All-Star break is a huge marker for twofold. The fantasy industry really turns to football, and then the people that are not as diehard baseball are going to turn their attention. So this is actually a really good opportunity to start winning your leagues because people start kind of falling off, not paying attention. Waivers, stuff like that are going to be in. but this is not the best time for the best players in baseball to not be there. It really is, but there's nothing they can do about it unless they want to get back to a little, let's do some fakey
How was
fakes.
that?
Yeah, it's like the what was it? The Stephen Colbert. They want to start cheating their way to making it all work. Injury front: Isaiah Kiner-Falefa injured his finger on a bunt attempt. Gleyber Torres suffered a mild ankle sprain on Sunday, so a couple of Yankee injuries. Yohan Moncada expected to return on Tuesday. You would know it by his production, so who cares? Yadier Molina returned to Puerto Rico to rest his knee with a question mark at the end. I'm Ron Burgundy, so watch that, I suppose. Tyler Stevenson could begin a rehab assignment soon, which actually is great for me out here in Arizona. That would mean he probably starts in Goodyear, so I will be on the lookout and see if I can I spy some Tyler Stevenson. Michael Brantley was removed from Sunday's game with right shoulder discomfort. Jack Flaherty was removed from Sunday's game with right shoulder stiffness.
That's dead arm.
Real quick on him. Do you have long worry? It took so long to get him back. He wasn't exceptional, but we gave him a pass. Are you worried long term on
not long term, because we see guys go through this during spring training when they come off of not throwing for so long.
But you shouldn't have dead arm when you haven't been throwing.
Well, yeah, but that's when guys get it, when they first start to come back. So, I think he'll get over this and be okay. But I mean, yeah, I think long term you do have to have concern over Flaherty, but I don't for this season. I think he'll be okay. He'll work through it.
Well, good on you. I'm a little bit worried. I'm worried that it's taken this long. It wasn't great. There's already some arm issues again.
I mean, I'm worried with him, but I'm not any more worried than I was with him coming off of this.
Yeah, so and I don't really know exactly what you can do in smaller leagues. You really get to the point where you hit this like home all the time, but there are plenty of guys out there and plenty of leagues. If you're playing in 10 or even maybe short benched or non-competitive 12s, yeah, man, there's just players out there that you're going to be able to stream when you can go and look on a wire and you're like, holy crap, George Kirby's sitting out here, and I can stream him, and none of the rookies are being picked up. Like, those are the places that you just don't have time to mess with this type of stuff. Points leagues as well. You just don't have time to mess around, screw around, especially if you don't have the IL. Flaherty is teetering on that. Like, Flaherty has a potential. There's still so much season to be played. And as I put on the screen, like Wonky said, fantasy leagues are won in July, 100%. Yeah. July and August, this is the time. July is your setup to win this whole thing, and it continues in August as people topple off. Someone making a mistake on Flaherty could be the pickup because there's so much season, but I am worried. I'm just generally worried, I think, about all that run-up time, and then now we're just having issues again. A couple other injuries. Jonathan India left the game after being hit by a pitch on the hand. We know that's not good right now. Not in the lineup on Sunday, and Brandon Crawford was placed on the 10-day IL. I literally had Crawford, Harper, and then someone else we've talked about on my tout team, all injured. All coming off. Oh, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. That's what it was. Falefa, Harper, and Crawford, all on my tout team for this past weekend. So things are going real good in tout. Bogman, this day in baseball. Here's a fun fact. I know Joe loves to do this. This day in baseball, 1921, Babe Ruth of the New York Yankees became baseball's career home run leader by hitting his 120th off. Well, can you guess who it is? Can you guess the 1921 pitcher? Jim Bagby in the third inning.
That's what I was going to say. Bagby. So
I figured you were going to say that. I knew that you had that.
Boggs, we're cousins somewhere. So
it's actually interesting too. I should have went and looked at this now. I'm thinking about it. Who did he pass? Maybe that's a trivia question. Someone look up who had 119 homers that in 1921 he passed. It wasn't that Prohibition time too.
Yeah,
wasn't Babe Ruth struggling a little
Great
bit?
Depression time. Well, not the Babe. Yeah, everyone else is in the Great Depression. He's like, maybe we'll go get a steak. Doesn't make any difference to me.
Was he a big bourbon guy before games? Didn't he have that whole routine? You're a big Babe Ruth guy.
Yeah.
I feel like even if there was Prohibition, he would have been all right. People would have given
he would have been
the
fine.
Babe the pass. He would be one of those few people. Like, if you've ever watched, I get all my history from HBO. If you ever watched, what was my show? Not Peaky. Well, Peaky Blinders is one of them.
Boardwalk Empire.
Boardwalk Empire, exactly. You know that the rich are okay, but I'm very curious at who did that and who got that 119th. I'm going to ask the trivia question, and then I'm going to bring something you guys are going to love. Everybody's going to love it, so get prepared. Here's a trivia question. Mark Appel was drafted over the weekend, I think, designated, when he was drafted. It was this day in history. I believe it was Saturday. Mark Appel was drafted in the 2013 draft, first overall. Now, famously, everybody knows that Chris Bryant went too. That's been the big joke. But I'm making this a little bit open-ended because I've got a thing that I want to bring to you guys, but can you name, and I'm going to start with you, Bogman, can you name 3 other players that were taken in the top 39 picks? I say 39 because that's like first round and compensatory. So can you name even 3 players that are still active in the MLB that win in that draft? There's about 16 players that are active from that draft.
The MLB draft is the one draft that I really don't pay attention to that much. So I don't think I can name the players.
Okay, so anybody post in here if you can name some players, because there's one I want to talk about. The reason we talk about this, Mark Appel officially getting the call-up, insane story of going first overall, disappearing, being out of baseball, retiring, coming back with the Phillies, and he got called up. Major league time. He has not pitched yet, but he was the first overall. There's 2 guys that I'm looking for. There are 2 all-stars that went in the first round, but if anyone can name just any player that is still active that went in that draft, put it in the chat, and I will share with you the 2 players that I think you will find most interesting. Now, Boggs, this is the big thing that I wanted to share with everybody. Joe has a Joe's Tough Guys in here, right? It's always Joe's Tough Guys. Jesse Winker would have worked perfect. I asked last week, and if you think I forgot about it, you are crazy. I asked last week for everybody to Photoshop hair on Joe. And I wasn't kidding. We were talking about the hair situation. So I present to you the daily edition of Joe's Tough Guys. Everybody, take a gander at this.
That is horrifying. I don't like it at all.
Look at that beauty. Look, that looks like, well, I can't say what I tweeted about it, but that looks like a used car salesman. This picture of Joe, Photoshop. Brantley did this on Twitter.
Oh, this looks like the devil.
He does that.
Why does he look like? Yeah. That's the one. Why does he look like Lucifer?
He does look like Lucifer. Here's what I want. Brantley has already entered. I want a new photo of Joe photoshopped with hair. And at the end, I'm going to take votes from all of our cast, and I'm going to put it in the...
Are we going to do one a day while Joe's gone?
I want one a day. This is what I want, one a day.
The goal.
I'm going to repost this from Brantley in the Welsh AMA, okay? And I want you guys to submit them on Twitter or in there. I'm going to pick them, and on Friday when Joe's back, we are going to present the winner. And I haven't got it. I can't tell you exactly what we're going to do. I'm going to see if I can get you a hat sent. How appropriate with his hair that we send you guys a hat. I'm going to see if Fantasy Pros will let me send the winner a hat.
Fit for when you have hair and when you don't have hair. Like
flex fit, baby. So. And we'll try to get a Fantasy Pros hat sent to somebody. And Brantley is the first and only submission, and we'll pick submission winners, and I will get votes from everybody. And when Joe's back on Friday, we will present the winner to everybody. But I just want to remind you, this was the first amazing job by Brantley.
Man,
it's incredible.
Very good job, Brantley. Yeah.
Look at that.
Extra creepy.
Hope to have you guys
do
it.
That is, by the way. That's some interesting
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. It's like a mashup, but we'll try to get
looks like a boy band from the 90s hair is what it looks like.
Like a Joey Fatone.
Yeah, like a Lance Bass or one of those guys.
Joe's kind of a Joey Fatone. I think that's it.
Like, you think so?
Yeah. And if not, by the way, we will, I'll have a prize for somebody. So every day, Joe's Tough Guys is actually going to be Joe's photoshopped hair, and I will be presenting them. So come and join up. Real quick, come and join up on the Fantasy Pros Discord. Get in premium. You can get in all the stuff, and in the chat, the Welsh AMA will do that and all the other cool stuff.
Every time someone says Joey Fatone, I think of the Robot Chicken where they called him Joey Fat One. Because that's how his name is spelled.
Oh, I don't remember that. On the draft, real quick, I didn't see a ton of guesses. Here was my big thing, and I could have just probably given it to you if you wanted to go through. Here were some names, some interesting names that went. Third overall was John Gray to the Rockies. Oh. You had Clint Frazier was 5 overall.
Oh, that's Austin Meadows then, too. That's because they're best friends.
Yep. Clint Frazier at that time, the Indians. So I'm allowed to say that now. Pittsburgh, 9th overall, took Austin Meadows. Hunter Renfroe went to the Pirates, 13th overall. Here were the 2 picks that really stuck out to me. The 17th overall pick to the White Sox, Tim Anderson went. Remember, this is all after all of these guys. JP Crawford went 16. And this is the one that really sparked it. The 32nd pick, which I believe moved into compensatory, or maybe it was the final pick of the first round, and how they did it. Aaron Judge was the 32nd pick.
Wow. All rise. Someone guessed Judge.
I didn't even see it.
Tony did.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Right there. Tony.
I thought he was just talking about how awesome Aaron Judge has been. Just hey, why not? Why wouldn't you throw that in there? But that's he knew it. Great job, Tony.
He did know it. Yeah, Christian Arroyo was in that. There's some amazing name, Mike Lorenzen, and if you go you go further in, you're gonna find like some huge values and stuff of guys that are playing. But there are only about 16 guys that are still playing in baseball that hit that marker. So I thought that was interesting. All right, so you guys know your contest, you know your rules, you know where to get that hair. Please do it. I'm looking very, very much forward to it. Stat Heroes, Dylan Cease, 7 innings, struck out 13. Dude's going to be at 1 or 2 in strikeouts at the end of the year. Probably not the best ERA, but it is what it is. So Dylan Cease there. Shane McClanahan, my number 1 dynasty pitcher in all the land, 7, giving up only 4 hits, striking out 10. David Peterson for the Mets, 8 strikeouts in 7 innings. Spencer Strider, thank you very much, Bogman. 7 strikeouts in 6 innings, giving up 5 hits, and continues to be a little bit, like there could be
really
one bad
realize,
start.
by the way, how Robbie Ray-ish his pants are. He's got them tight, high pants on. Spencer Strider does.
Did you see maybe my favorite thing that he's doing? And I hope he makes it a thing. Like, I really think hitters and pitchers, whether any type of like taunting or celebration, they really should embrace, even though I know there's the unwritten rules and all this, but he has this moment where I don't know if he does this all the time. I don't think I paid attention to it, but when he struck out someone over the weekend, he did like a wave. He held his hand up like he was waving by. I think he should do that on every single strikeout, and that should be his thing, 100%. And he's like, what's interesting about these guys we're mentioning, like Strider, and this is a great point that Brian just brought up here, is there are a couple guys that are automatic bet overs on strikeouts. I've said McClanahan all year. I think Cease is there, and Strider's one of those. Brian says he parlayed Cease, McClanahan, and Strider at plus 1,000. Bing bang, you're absolutely going to pop that. That is how you do it. I love that. So Spencer Strider's my guy. He's a little bit wonky right now, but mustache, waving high, strikeouts. Christian Javier went 7, giving up no hits and striking out 13. That has to be a strikeout career high. I don't know if that was.
That was the combined no-hitter. He was the starter, obviously.
Garrett Cole, 7, struck out 8. Logan Webb struck out 6 and giving up only 2 hits in 6 innings. Chris Archer struck out 5, pretty good outing. Josiah Gray struck out 9 and 7. He's been a little off and on, but he can really get it going. Cal Hendricks in a rare, really good appearance, 7 1/3, striking out 6, giving up only 5 hits. Graham Ashcroft struck out 8 and 8. And Graham Ashcroft has really been one of those guys that if you're not owning, he is a high-end streamable option that everybody should be looking at.
When he's not on Joe Rogan talking about where the velocity of Atlantis is, he's been great on the mound.
Okay, I don't know who is this?
I think it's Todd Ashcraft.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, something like that. It's the same name, Graham Hancock. That's what it is. Graham Hancock.
Herbie Hancock.
He's the guy that does the stuff on Joe Rogan's show, and I always think of that guy when I see Ashcraft's name.
Julio Urias struck out 9. Aaron Nola struck out 10. Continues to be insane. On the positive hitter fronts, multi-homers. Pete Alonso hit 2. Adolis Garcia hit 2 more this weekend. Alejandro Kirk, there's one of your hot-end catchers who's going to be able to replace. Yeah, I mean, if you have him over Salvi, good on you. Edward Olivares hit 2. Seth Brown 1, but 4 RBIs. You have a couple other just good performances in here. Rafael Devers was 6 for 13. Isak Paredes, 6 for 8 with a homer.
Guy is on fire. Absolute fire right now.
I put a claim on him, and I don't actually know if I got him in one of the leagues. And Jaron Duran stole 2 more bases, 6 for 15. Put that guy at the top of the lineup, please. Stat zeros. Jose Barrios is like, we just keep him on here probably for the rest of the year.
He's a grenade.
Yeah, 2 2/3, 8. That's an amazing nickname for Barrios. He is a grenade. Yeah, 8 earned. Desclafani gave up 7 earned and 2 2/3. Mike Minor gave up 6 earned runs and 5. Gibson gave up 5 earned runs, couldn't get to the third. Glenn Otto gave up 6 earned runs. All these guys couldn't get to the third. And Ian Anderson, consistently inconsistent, giving up 4 earned in 4. Hitters, rough go. Christopher Morel, 2 for 13, 7 strikeouts. Jared Walsh only 2 for 12 over the weekend. Bo Bichette 1 for 13. Hate to see that. Tommy Edman 2 for 14. Adam Duvall 1 for 13 with 5 Ks, and Nolan Gorman 0 for 13 with 4 strikeouts. Tommy no likey. Yikes. Tommy no want wingy. But let's go take a look over at the home run board. Bogman, is Bogman there? Bogman is not there. I'm very, very sorry, Bogman. You're not there. Larry C., you are at the top of the board with High Cubby 2016. I do see Joe still on there, but look, couldn't they have edited that out before the show? That is very, very unfortunate. If you guys want, join the MLB Discord using a link below. That's right here. You can do it. Go and check it out. Sign up on, I believe it's just, I don't know what the premium, I think it's just the premium is what they call it. You can sign up today. You can be a part of it. You simply go in, type in your home run call, and you could maybe go on a hot run and get added to this board. Like, I don't know, maybe someday I could be added to this board. I don't know.
By the way, that was Bryce Harper's hair on Joe, just so you know.
Oh, was it Bryce Harper's hair?
Yeah. Oh, so now it makes sense.
I like that. Well, friends, the home run board takes us to the bets, and the king of bets. I don't have a crown. Well, I do have a crown. Today for everybody. BetMGM, the king of all places to bet. We have a special offer for new users. You bet $10, you win $200 when you bet on any game, regardless of the outcome. You sign up today. Use our promo code leading off. Get the app. Go to the website. Do it today. This is my crown, Bob.
I love it. They always talk about how whenever Joe puts on his crown, I'm grinning like an idiot. This is
mine better?
This is even better. Your tiara is the best.
So. All right. Well, hey, you know what? I'll wear it while we do our props real quick. Again, leading off, use a promo code leading off, BetMGM. Go and sign up today.
Welsh.
It's Princess Welsh. It's exactly. I'm a new Star Wars character. I got 3 bets that I like. Tyler Anderson, 3.5 strikeouts is going today. It's against Colorado. He's been a little bit wonky.
It's in Colorado.
It's in Colorado. Yeah, exactly. But you've had, I probably should take this off if anyone's going to take me serious here, but I can put it on the hat.
There you go.
If I want. That's my princess call here I'm going to do it all week. Tyler Anderson, he has had 2 games of 2 strikeouts over his last 3, but he's been a pretty good strikeout option the whole year. So I like Tyler Anderson. George Kirby is on the list here. Baltimore's averaging 11 strikeouts over the last 3 games. George Kirby's number is at 5.5. He can hit that 6 marker, which I like. And for total bases, Xander Bogaerts got a almost 350 batting average versus Gausman. Versus in his career, 16 hits and 46 at bats. 1.5 is a marker you can get pretty good. So Tyler Anderson, Kirby, and Xander Bogaerts, that's what I would go with my bets today. When we go over to DFS, Bogman, you got a couple pitchers on the marker.
Yeah, I mean, the pitchers are kind of disappointing today. So I want to stick with Pablo Lopez, and Kevin Gausman. Those are kind of the 2 I want to stick to. And then some PVB data for today. Welsh, you mentioned already, Xander Bogaerts, 16 for 46. That's a 348 average with a bomb and 2 doubles in his career against Kevin Gausman. Shohei against Giolito is 5 for 17 with a homer, a triple, and a double. So 3 of his 5 hits have gone for extra bases against him. Carlos Correa is 2 for 5 with 2 bombs versus Jose Quintana, who's supposed to be starting today. And then, I never know about these against Martin Perez this year because he's just been a different pitcher.
Yeah.
But we've got Hunter Dozier, 5 for 17 with 2 bombs and a double versus Perez. So same deal as Shohei against Giolito. Witt, 8 for 23, 348 average, 2 doubles versus Martin Perez. Carlos Santana, 7 for 19, a 368 average, a homer, and 2 doubles versus Martin Perez. And JD Martinez, 6 for 16, 375 average against Gausman with a homer and a double. So a little bit of nice PVB data there.
Yeah, and if you want also on the stack front, when we talk about that sometimes, I like that for hitters. I actually really like that approach of going some BVP. Just pointing out, I went and took a look at applied odds. A couple different sites have them. 2 of the most obvious, the Dodgers have the highest implied run odds today. So any Dodgers you can get in stacks, you can take a look at. Even getting guys like Bellinger and stuff in there, do that. New York Yankees, 2nd highest implied run odds today. This according to, I was looking over at Fantasy Labs. And a surprising one on a 3rd stack, you might want to take a look at Washington, who's got Pittsburgh. They're going to have some cheap options. So if you want to take a look, 3rd highest implied scoring odds for you if you want to do a little bit of lineup stacking. Last up, Boggs, home run call. Who you got on the home run call this week? Get on the board.
How about let's just go with the aforementioned Aaron Judge. I'll just take Judge to hit a bomb. Why not?
Dude, this past weekend, I was like, why do I just not take Judge every single day? I'm struggling.
Yeah.
I'm on
this either show, Judge or Isak Paredes. Take one of those guys.
Yeah, actually, I should take Isak. Whether it's this show or outside of it, like I have a curse that I'm trying to lift. I'm really hoping maybe the princess thing will lift my curse.
There you go.
I need to lift this curse because every facet of my life is cursed. And even onto here, I ruin players when I pick them, and I'm trying to break that. And
pick all Dodgers.
Well, maybe I should. I did get a homer this weekend from Paul Goldschmidt. I didn't get a whole bunch. I took him over the weekend. So I'm hoping to.
If you're ruining players, come on.
Well, I'm not going to ruin him or anything like that. I'm trying to get on the board. So I'm trying to get sneaky with it, but I'm terrified to ruin these guys. I am going to go with Shohei Ohtani against Lucas Giolito. Somebody asked, hey, do you like Lucas Giolito? I think it was Brian versus the Angels. And right here, Wonky said, not a big fan of him tonight. It's hard to bet against the Angels. And that is kind of my point is I think there's some good implied hitting odds for hitters against Giolito for trajectory of history. Shohei Ohtani hits almost 300 against Giolito with a pretty decent track record, an 800 slug against him. I'm going to go with Ohtani today against Giolito, and I'm a little bit worried about Giolito and all of my stuff with him, so I'm going to move away from Giolito. Not exactly excited about him. If I had most leagues, you got to put him out there. Points, you would put him out there. If I could have a decision, I probably would avoid it because I think Ohtani and Mike Trout are pretty good bet. So I'm going to take Ohtani. Joe has got Jordan Alvarez the entire week, so we continuously follow him. And look at Mike Mayer. I talked about implied odds, Dodgers being the number one. His home run call is Cody Bellinger. I like that. I didn't even notice he did that. I don't even think that.
I love Mayer, but I just don't like the Dodgers. So
I don't even think that's a BVP play. No, that's not even a BVP play necessarily going on. So I like it. So there's your home run call.
I've got a good feel about this, man.
Yeah.
Because it's Cody Bellinger, bro.
Friendos, that is everything that we have for you. I hope we did you a little bit of service. I know it's weird, like not having Joe. Joe is the guy. He does all the stuff. You're used to how he presents it. Hopefully it wasn't too weird. Hopefully it was enjoyable in some capacity. We are going to attack Joe all week long. Do not forget. I want
Joe slander continues.
This man right there. We are going after this man all week long. This man you cannot trust. That guy is not trustworthy, and we are going to get him. And I want you guys to help get him by tweeting at us. Is it the Welsh Bogman Sports? Put Fantasy Pros MLB account on there. Tweet us your Photoshop Bryce Harper calls or Bryce Harper, Joe Pisapia, crazy hair Photoshops. Come into the app, come in on Discord, come into the AMA Welsh room, post those. And I'm going to pick one every single week or one every day. And then at the end of the week, we are going to pick a winner and send a hat or send something like that, something fun. So let's get those Photoshops in and make sure to use the promo code leading off for BetMGM. The king of sports bets that kings, queens, and princesses all love together. We love you guys. Thanks for hanging out. For Bogman, I am Welsh. Good night, my friends. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.